Hello everyone, my name is Hawk and welcome back to another discussion video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a subject that honestly I wanted to talk about for a while at this point, and that is the issue with Mafex figures. Now, I'm not saying that Mafex figures are bad. No, on the contrary, they're really good sometimes. They do have their QC issues here and there, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, it is something that happens. But what I'm here to talk about is the current ongoing issue of not being able to meet their quota. What do I mean by that? So, Mafex is kind of like a running joke. There's like a running joke with Mafex in, like, for example, let's take a look at this Gambit right here. So, this Gambit releases in January 2026. Now, this is technically a newer Gambit because he is completely different colors and he has a different coat color too. So this is a comic variant version, not the comic version. So he's supposed to release in 2 months. Now, Mafex just likes to delay things a lot. So expect this guy to be delayed. But honestly, this guy might actually be a little bit easier to do because they already have the mold for this guy specifically. So I don't expect them to be delayed by that much. Maybe he gets delayed until like February, but besides that, so far his release date is marked as January. So again, the biggest issue with Mafex themselves is that they delay their figures indefinitely. They do not know when these figures are going to come out. They put in a set date, and that is it. They think that they're going to be able to make them, but they never meet the deadline. And there's a couple of figures that were supposed to release this month, but got pushed back. Some of them got pushed back harder than others. So, of course, we already took a look at Gambit. He comes out in a couple months, at least hopefully. But one of the first ones is Dr. Fate. For those that are interested in this Dr. Fate design, which honestly looks pretty good, is from the Black Adam movie. He was supposed to release this November, but he got pushed back to December. Now, do I think that this figure is going to come out in December? No. I actually don't think that he might actually come out this year whatsoever. So expect this guy to get delayed again. I don't know what the issue is with Mafex, but what I'm guessing is that they just are not able to push out as much in terms of the product and get all of these figures ready to go, fix the QC issues, any of that sort of stuff. Maybe they have prototypes that they sort of tested out and they just don't like the batch. Who knows? But at the same time, again, this guy got pushed back by a month. Same thing with the Rogue, the comic book version. Honestly, this Rogue is a lot, even at $75 with the conversion rate. She comes with absolutely nothing. Like, if we look at all the pictures here, she comes with almost nothing. She comes with a couple sets of hands, 2 different facial expressions with the windswept hair, no regular hair sculpt, like no basic, just hair down hair. So that is unfortunate. She of course comes with the jacket, which you should be able to take off, at least hopefully. But again, she doesn't come with much. So she's very expensive to be, to say the least. And of course, that's another issue with Mafex, is that they have been getting pricier and pricier. But again, this one was delayed to December 2025. I don't think this one is coming out this year either. Any of the figures that I'm going to be talking about here are probably not coming out this year. And usually it is around this time that Mafex announces delays for figures. Some figures seem to have actually made it through the delay hammer. So, but Spider-Man right here from Far From Home is not one of those. So, again, this one was supposed to release, I'm pretty sure, back in August or September. So it has been a while since he actually should have been released. And of course, he just got delayed to December again. So it is your typical Spider-Man figure. They've released a bunch of Tom Holland Spider-Mans at this point. But this is, of course, the integrated suit, which a lot of people like. I'm not too fond of it myself, but it does look nice. And speaking of Spider-Man, the Mafex red and blue, I'm pretty sure this got delayed once. This was also supposed to come out this year, but I might be wrong. But again, this one is supposed to come out in January 2026. But I don't think that's going to happen, because if this guy is not coming out this year, then this guy is definitely not coming out this year. Now, of course, The Far From Home figures are also notorious for being known to get delayed. Toby got, or the Toby Maguire's Spider-Man was supposed to release back in, I'm pretty sure, September of last year, and he just got delayed and delayed. He got delayed to December, so I was like, okay, great, time for the Christmas time. Um, but no, he got delayed again to February. So then he got delayed to February. Then I'm pretty sure he got delayed back to April. So he just kept getting pushed back. By the time that you guys saw my video, that's around the time that I got it. So take away 2 weeks, and that's when he technically got released. Um, Same thing with Andrew Garfield. He actually just recently came out, like maybe a month ago, and he got delayed by maybe a couple of months too. And of course, this Tom Holland figure is going to get delayed. That's something to be expected. I don't think that it's not. I don't think it's going to come out anytime soon. And then, of course, the worst case that actually happened, one of the most awaited figures that actually seems to come with a decent amount of accessories, is Jubilee in her comic book version. This one was also supposed to release a couple of months ago, but also was supposed to release this month, and it got hit with the hardest delay up until February 2026. That is probably the most insane delay that I've seen from just Mafex themselves. Getting pushed back by 3 months is insane. And I understand why. Again, these are all brand new sculpts. Majority of these figures are brand new sculpts. Well, maybe Rogue can be questionable because they could theoretically just use the Phoenix head mold for a couple of these pieces. But again, a couple of them should be different. This one should be completely different than this one. And Jubilee is a brand new one, of course. So I understand where the issues come from, and it's just that they can't release so many figures in a timely manner. I think they put too much on their plates. So, of course, that's why Mafex is seen as like a joke when it comes to figures, or at least releasing figures. And sometimes these figures come out with QC issues. So at the same time, it's like, why did we wait all of this time to just have a bad figure? That's always the thing that sucks the most. And that's why I'm trying to bring it here as a discussion point, because it does suck having to wait so long for a figure and it just having so many QC issues. It really sucks, especially for really high-end companies or really high-end products like Mafex figures. And the one figure that actually seemed to have escaped the delay hammer is A-Train. Surprisingly, he was too fast for the delay hammer. He is technically still supposed to be releasing in November 2025. There's no specific dates for any of these figures. So they're not like Bandai or Tamashii Nations, where they actually have set dates when they are releasing these figures. Bandai is very notorious to pushing their figures on a timely manner. But at the same time, those figures can definitely have QC issues and all that sort of stuff, but they have their act together. Granted, Bandai is one of the bigger toy-making companies. I'm pretty sure it's the biggest toy-making company in Japan, so it makes the most sense that they are able to produce these products so much faster as compared to Mafex. And I'm pretty sure Mafex, again, is not the biggest action figure company, but it is seen as one of those really big ones because of how many products or how many sort of figures they're trying to make in just a year. Oh, excuse me. So again, the biggest issue with the Mafex is that they delay things a lot. Now, how do they make up for those delays? By throwing in a lot of reissues. Reissues are probably the easiest thing to do for them because they don't necessarily have to do anything. So, for example, if I just search up Mafex again, just so these get ordered again. So, a couple of these figures are already released, like, for example, the Mafex Amazing Spider-Man. There's the reissue for the Mafex Batman Hush. There's also the reissue for Magneto that just released, the Batman Hush Superman. There's the brown comic book version of Wolverine and the Tiger Stripe as well. There's other stuff like Nightwing, Miles Morales. There is the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, the comic paint Spider-Man. So a bunch of these figures are being reissued. And something that you'll see about reissues is that they do not get delayed. The reason for it is because they already have the molds. They already have the material to actually make them. Therefore, they can actually produce them at a much faster rate and on an actual timely manner. For example, there's also the Catwoman, there's the Bane, there's the Deadpool, Captain America, um, and even just like recolors, like for example, the comic version of Scarlet Spider, the Night Crusader Batman. Any of these figures are much easier for them to make. So it is nice that they are throwing in very sought after figures in between these delays, because otherwise Mafex would be making no money. At this point, a lot of people definitely do cancel their pre-orders and just say, "Well, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it when it actually comes out." You know, because a lot of people, um, I'm not myself, but a lot of people are also not pre-ordering Mafex figures anymore because, again, it is a big issue that is very talked about and all that sort of stuff. So, for example, any of these figures that you see here, for example, this one is also a recent re-release. But for example, the Punisher, the comic book version, it's a completely different sculpt. He has a whole different like body mold and everything. So expect this figure to get delayed. There's also the what else? What else? What else is here that's new? The Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. This figure is definitely gonna get delayed. The movie came out over a year ago at this point, so it makes sense that it'll get delayed. Expect this figure to maybe come out end of 2026, maybe early 2027. So yeah, I just wanted to bring in a little bit of my frustration here with Mafex, because I like Mafex. They're a really good company, at least in my opinion. I haven't had many issues with them, and I really hope that they can get their act together or fix the issues that are going on more internally, because it shouldn't be this difficult. At least I don't think it should be this difficult. And at the same time, they shouldn't put too many projects on their hands if they can't really produce these figures quickly. I understand that a lot of QC testing needs to go through, approvals need to happen, this and that, and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully they can get that situated. That way, these delays don't keep happening. Because again, the more delays and the more like unfulfilled promises that happen for your customer base, you're going to continue losing them, at least from experience. So that's pretty much all the things that I wanted to talk about today and discuss. Let me know what you guys think about this issue. I know I talked a lot about these issues with Mafex and all that sort of stuff. So I would like to know your input. What do you think about this? Are you looking forward to any of these figures coming out in the next couple of days? Not days, but like years or months. Because I have a bunch of these pre-ordered. For example, I have the Mafex Rogue, even though this one is definitely going to be on sale on a lot. I don't have this Spider-Man, but I also have this Spider-Man and also the Jubilee. And I don't have A-Train. I don't care about the boys. But I have a bunch of these figures pre-order, and of course, it sucks when they get delayed because I can't get a video out for you guys, so you know if you should buy it or not, all that sort of stuff, if the price is worth it, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna leave it there. Besides that, like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.